Is the guy in the basement?
He hasn't come out.
All right, we may have a ghost in the building. Like, can I go in your basement? Holy shit, man. He went in the basement.
And he's not answering me.
Is the light on? How much risk should you take in your business? In this video, I'm gonna break it down. If you've ever felt like, man, should I stop listening to these people telling me that I'm crazy, or should I not consider putting my whole life savings into my new business, or maybe you just don't know what to listen to? That's the challenge, because I think people are saying, you gotta be a risk taker, you gotta burn the boats, you gotta be all in. The truth is, and I'm gonna give you guys some examples, there are limits to how much risk and who's involved in that risk. And I'll walk you through my framework, but you know, I understood this because I remember the day my brother came to me and he's like, Dan, I wanna build houses. And you gotta understand, he'd never built a house before. He helped a friend build a house. He had no experience, but there were elements there that I knew that it made sense for him. He was passionate about it. He had the skills. He actually was very handy. He was a mechanic. He was handy with his hands. He knew how to build houses because of his friend. So like, it wasn't a stretch. And it wasn't like he came out of the gate and said, I'm going to build 100 homes this year, although he ended up doing that. He really set the intention of, I'm going to build a house, one house. And my thoughts were, at the end of the day, you don't even build the house. You manage the contractors who have the skills, who have the 20 years of experience doing it. It's the same people that other people use. So there's ways to look at the business, and that's what I want to walk you through in today's video. I also believe in the Valley, in Silicon Valley, my world, software, technology, venture capital, that a lot of these entrepreneurs are not risk takers. And I'm going to probably get a lot of people in the comments being all upset, like, what are you talking about? I took risk. Look, there are those that exist. There are people that take everything they have, move to the Valley, and put it all into their company, and they make it work. But the truth is, for many of them that are working at Facebook, Google, Twitter, Instagram, wherever they're at, and they decide to go join an accelerator and get $250,000 in seed funding to build their company, that even if they failed, A, they're in their early 20s, B, they've got the money so they can test out their ideas, and C, if they failed, they would just go back and get the job they had. So worst case scenario, I'm making 100 plus grand a year if I fail. So to me, I really think that risk is relative. And I mean, when you look at the Elon Musk that truly put everything he had into these three companies, he had a foundation for making that decision. It wasn't like the first business he decided to start was a car company. And I think a lot of people, they use these stories and these reference points out of context, right? Steve Jobs and Pixar. I mean, he built a multi-billion-dollar company from the age of, early 20s to 30, and then took some of that money and invested in Pixar. And only once he started seeing some proof points that he then doubled down and grew that. And he even raised money from Ross Perot. So like, all that to say is that I think there's risk. It's required to build a business. I think it's within context, and I'm going to give you my framework for how to think about that. So number one is horizon. I truly believe that whatever you have as a skill set, and if you want to start a business, it cannot be outside of the horizon on where you're at today and where you want to get to. So if you've absolutely come into an industry, have never ever been exposed to it, talked to people in that industry, have any context for it, have any experience whatsoever, that is kind of crazy. I really think it should be about you. The first leg of the business, the first testing zone, the first revenue should be about 20% further than where you have been in the past. So maybe you've done the work, you worked for another company, and now you want to do that as your own business. You've already got that part. The 20% is really starting the business. So I call it within the horizon of where you're at and where you want to get to. And every time you get to that new level, the cool part is the horizon gets further and further away. And that's how growth happens. The other thing I believe when you take risks is you should never risk other people's quality of life without their permission. So I have a really a big issue with people putting their house and their mortgage and all these things on the line if they have a family. And especially if they didn't consult or ask their family if that was appropriate, because those people did not sign up for that crazy ride. And the truth is that if you've gotten into that situation, it's probably a pattern of bad decision making that you need to figure out and solve first, and that I just don't think it's appropriate. Now, did my brother remortgage his house to build his home building company? You betcha. Was he a single person at the time and he owned his house? Yes, he was. So that's different. So I really think when it comes to it, you need to get permission from other people that are going to be impacted when taking that risk. So instead of putting your whole house mortgage, maybe you take $10,000 out and you invest it to try to get some early customers, and you cap it at that and you focus on that, and that is the test. It's a compartmentalized thing. It's not going too far and stretching yourself. And I get some people, again, they want to make it feel like I'm all in and all this stuff. Look, if you've got a job, work at the job, do the side hustle, get to about $10,000 a month in revenue, and then make the switch. And that's just the truth. A lot of people talk about all this risk hustle stuff. I'm giving you a framework to better way to think about it so you can stop, unfortunately, inflicting pain in other people's lives that care about you that they didn't sign up for. So the third is try to start a business that's within your magic zone. I learned this from John C. Maxwell, one of the top leadership experts in the world. And he talked about, like, it's not just enough to get outside of your comfort zone, but you need to get within your magic zone. You need to get into an industry that you love, that you understand, that you feel like that is my calling in life, not just do something because you think there's an opportunity. Which brings me on to the fourth aspect of it is, what wrong do you want to right? If you're getting into business, don't tell me, I think there's an opportunity in the market for this business. That is the worst way to start a company. Sure, you want to find a trend. Sure, you want it to have opportunity. Sure, you want to have like maybe a partnership to get you early distribution, some kind of unique, unfair advantage in that industry. But to just do it for pure financial reasons is the craziest reasons to take risk in your business. So I always say, tell me the wrong that you want to right. And that needs to be the underlying reason that you're getting into this business and taking the risk. That to me, those four areas, right? So one is the horizon, 20%. Like, where do I want to go? And is this just a little bit further than my capabilities and I'm stretching myself? Two is other people in my life that I'm impacting in that decision. Don't put them in the harm's way, the risk, changing their lifestyle unless you get permission from them. Three is the magic zone. Make sure you're outside of your comfort zone, within your magic zone. And the fourth is, what wrong in your life do you want to right? I want to ask you guys below in the comments, I want you to leave me a story and let me know a story of the biggest risk that you took in your life. And if you guys answer them there, I'll leave my own personal one. There's so many great things, but they all follow this pattern. I just want to give you that framework so that you guys don't go out there and obviously make decisions that might hurt other people or hurt yourself or cause you to lose everything you've ever had, because that's just not a great way to get into business, because it might stop you to keep trying again if that one fails. So leave me a story below in the comments with your biggest story, and as per usual, I want to challenge you to live a bigger life and a bigger business, and I'll see you next Monday. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to my channel where you will get other videos on how to start and grow your business. And then also I'd encourage you to join my newsletter where I send out exclusive invites to events, free training videos, and community contests. And if you're roaring to get going and you want more content, be sure to watch these couple videos I've got queued up for you. I will see you next week.